right, well, you know, the White House has just released President Obama's second presidential portrait just days before his inauguration for his second term. And unlike his first term portrait, when he had a serious expression, he's smiling this time. And he's showing a little more gray in his hair. The White House says the new photo was shot in the Oval Office on December 6th. And President Obama will take the oath of office this Sunday, being sworn in for a second term as the nation's 44th president. A public inauguration is on Monday. It's an American tradition, but did you know that all but 3 presidents have placed their hands on a Bible to take their oaths? That's just one interesting fact that's in a book written by Dr. Dan White. And Dr. White is the Island Pacific Academy founder and headmaster who also has a passion for presidential history. Good morning to you.
Good morning,
thanks for coming in. Now, so who are those 3 presidents that did not use a Bible?
Well, the first was John Quincy Adams. John Quincy Adams believed in the separation of church and state in a profound way, even though he was reported to have read 2 chapters of the Bible every day of his life. The second, actually, was Franklin Pierce, and there's a longer story in the book about why, but fundamentally he was persuaded by his wife that if he had taken the oath on a Bible, it would have constituted blasphemy. And the third actually is, we've seen a picture of that, many of us, and that's a picture of President Johnson and Jackie Kennedy on Air Force One on November 22nd, 1963. There wasn't actually a Bible on the plane. There was, however, a Catholic prayer book that had a black cover, and so for the purposes of the picture, it worked.
Oh, interesting. Well, no, that's just some of the facts that are found in this book that you've written, So Help Me God, Becoming President. And this is just a fun book, you're telling me.
Indeed it is. It was something that I did out of it actually started with a point, with a previous inauguration when Walter Cronkite had said no 2 presidents had ever taken the oath of office with their hand on the same Bible verse. And my wife, Judy, wondered if that was actually true. Well, I had written my dissertation on Eisenhower, so knew something about the scholarship on presidents, and I found out that, in fact, he was wrong. Walter Cronkite was wrong. On at least 3 occasions, there were some repeats. And it led me then to look at what had been the tradition of using the Bible. It started with George Washington. And then whether or not the Bible verse chosen by any president had any particular relevance to their presidency. So, for example, Richard Nixon, who was a Quaker, he swore with his hand on a favorite Bible verse of his mother, who was in fact a Quaker. So the interesting thing that I'll be looking for on Monday, for the first swearing in, the president had a closed Bible. Now this time he's using 2 Bibles, and I'll be interested to see if either is open, and if so, to what.
And it doesn't really matter
whether it's
open or not.
That's right. And the other interesting thing about that is that the first words ever spoken by every president, in fact, are "So help me God," because the Article 2 of the Constitution has the oath of office, but it ends with "preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States." It was George Washington who added "So help me God," and so has every president since.
Oh, interesting. All right. Well, and you know, I know that we've run out of time. So again, this book is available now.
www.becomingthepresident.com, or come by Island Pacific Academy out there in Kapolei. We have copies, and you can save the postage if you do that.
And, all right. Thanks, Dr. White, for coming in this
Jill.
morning. And to see this interview again, just head to the top video section of our website, kitv.com. It's now 6:25. We'll be right back.